Good evening, everybody. Don't forget, if you're muted, *6 unmutes you.
Good
Chris, who do
evening,
we
Kevin.
have here with us? Chris, you there? Okay.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. We have everybody that we need?
I don't know if you have a quorum yet.
Okay. Charlie, you here?
I am.
All right. Is Keith here?
Doesn't appear to be.
Okay. No, he's not working today. I don't think so. And Chris or Maria's not here. Yeah. Right. She never called me. Mike, where was the set of plans for 160? We'll give it a couple minutes. I'll give Keith a call. Yeah, I'm looking online. Oh, it's on the desk. 9 Cliff Drive. PNP Associates. Here we go. All right, I'm gonna hang up and give Keith a call. Oh, actually, I'll just text him, see if he's around. All right, I'm gonna try. He hasn't returned my text. I'm gonna give him a call. Just stand by, please. All right, I just called him from a landline and he didn't answer, so, I'm gonna try one more time from my cell phone. Maybe he'll pick up for me, and I'll rejoin. Thanks. Okay, I just got off the phone with Keith. He got called in for station coverage. He's on his way back to Station 3 from the fuel pumps, and he will call. So I imagine within the next few minutes. So I just appreciate everybody's patience. Thank you. Chris, just let me know when he's here.
Okay. I think Keith's joined.
Nope, that's just me, just joined. Kevin.
Well, this is
Chris-
Keith's
Chris, is Keith-
iPhone.
Keith there?
This is his iPhone is joined.
Perfect. All right. Quorum being present, I will call the meeting of the Freetown Conservation Commission to order. Let the minutes reflect those members that are present. Who is present? Well, it would appear me, Charlie, and Keith Mello. So before we get started, I have to read this announcement. Pursuant to Governor Baker's March 12, 2020 order suspending certain provisions of the open meeting law, and the Governor's March 15th, 2020 order imposing strict limitations on the number of people who may gather in one place. This meeting of the Freetown Conservation Commission will be conducted via remote participation to the greatest extent possible. Specific information and general guidelines for remote participation by members of the public can be found on the Town of Freetown website, freetownma.gov. For this meeting, members of the public who wish to listen to the meeting may do so in the following manner. They can download Zoom and enter the meeting ID. They can call the number listed on the public hearing notice and enter the meeting ID that way. No in-person attendance of members of the public will be permitted, but every effort will be made to ensure that the public can adequately access the proceedings in real time via technological means. In the event that we are unable to do so, despite best efforts, we will post on the town's website or YouTube channel an audio or video recording, transcript, or other comprehensive record of proceedings as soon as possible after the meeting. Okay,
Kevin, can you hear me?
so I can.
Okay, sorry, everybody. Emergencies,
No,
sometimes
don't
take bad times.
apologize. You're doing your job. You're doing your job keeping the town of Freetown safe. So appreciate you being able to come in and help us here. So we'll keep it short and sweet because I understand Keith is on duty, and if he has to go, so we're going to get this done right quick. So on our agenda, we have items listed A through G. They've all requested a continuance, or they need a continuance due to the fact that they are still in engineering review. And in a couple of cases with 3 Locust Street, 39 Sammy's Lane, there's actually a planning board issue, whereas the subdivision plan has expired and those lots don't actually exist any longer. So I believe that their intent is to refile. So they've asked that we just continue this, and when I say refile, I mean refile with the planning board to get approval on the subdivision. So they may in fact just ask for continuances on this until that is taken care of. So for items A through E, I will, those are all continued public hearings. I will call those all back to order. They've all been either a request or out of necessity, continuances to November 9th, 2020. Does anybody have a problem going to, like, say 5:30 for meeting times? Mike, are you on that?
5:30 for.
All right, well, if I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, are you saying in the future 5:30? Is that what you're saying, Kevin?
Yeah. If 5:30, if I'm just wondering if 5:30 would give people an extra half hour to get home and maybe be able to listen into the meeting. That's all.
I mean, I don't have an objection. I'm just wondering if other meetings are at 5 now instead of.
Yeah, I have noticed that too, Charlie. If you want to keep it at 5, I don't have a problem with that. And again, the availability is, I guess, such that somebody could actually join in from work, or if they wanted to listen on the ride home, they could. So that's true. So, all right, we'll just continue those. So I need a motion to continue.
I'll make that
item
motion.
A. Yeah, thank you. Motion's been made.
I'll second it.
Motion's been made and supported to continue the public hearings for items A through E to November 9th at 5 o'clock via Zoom. Roll call vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Charlie Sullivan,
Aye.
Keith Mello,
Aye.
Kevin Demara states aye. It's unanimous. Items F and G, I will call back to order. Those are the two that do not actually exist. They've asked for a continuance to at least November 23rd. Same deal, 5 o'clock via Zoom. I'll entertain that motion.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Motion's made and supported. There's no further discussion. Roll call vote. Charlie Sullivan,
Aye.
Keith Mello,
Aye.
Kevin Damaris, aye. Passes unanimously. Okay, next item on our agenda, it's a public hearing. It's a notice of intent for 160 Middleborough Road. The plan is to repair an existing and failed septic system that's within the buffer zone to an associated wetland. Since this is a public hearing, I'll entertain a motion to waive the reading of the public hearing notice.
Motion made.
Second.
Motion made and supported. If there's no further discussion, roll call vote. Charlie Sullivan,
Aye.
Charlie, aye. Keith Mello,
Aye.
Keith Mello, aye. And Kevin Damaris, aye. Okay, so folks, this is a public hearing. If you're joining us from the public, typically how this works, we allow the applicant to make a presentation, and then we open it up to public questions and or comments from the board. If you would like to see the plans in real live time, if you will, they're on our website. If you go to the freetownma.gov website, go to the Conservation Commission under Boards and Committees, and there would be Conservation Commission current files. It's on the left-hand side once you get onto the Concom page. And scroll down to 160 Middleborough Road, and they have both the actual notice of intent and the plans that's submitted. It's relatively straightforward, but because of its proximity to the wetlands and the amount of work associated with it, I guess the applicant filed the notice of intent. Is the applicant or their representative here tonight? And again, if you're muted, *6 would unmute you on the phone.
Yes, Josh White from PMP Associates.
Well, Josh, thanks for coming, and I appreciate your patience.
No problem.
So we all have a set of plans available to look at, and we understand it's a septic repair, but why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit about the plans?
Sure. So the existing 3-bedroom dwelling has a failed septic system in the front of the property. There's a wetland line to the east of the driveway that we had located by Brad Holmes of Environmental Consulting and Restoration, and that's the blue line on the plans. And then the green line is a 25-foot buffer, and then we've got the yellow line which shows the 100-foot buffer to the wetland. The existing septic system is in the front. You can see a light rectangle showing an approximate location of that. It's kind of on the upper tier of a retaining wall. So for this, we're going to pump out and remove the existing septic tank, which is also above on the back side of the retaining wall. So we'll take the existing tank out, tie into that invert that's coming out of the house, and then we'll put in a new 1,500-gallon septic tank and a new 1,000-gallon pump chamber with a force main out to the main septic field in the back of the property, which is about 151 feet from the wetland. So it's way outside the 100-foot buffer zone. And then we've got, we're proposing a chamber field out back here. There's not a lot of disturbance. There's about 1,500 square feet of disturbance total within the 100-foot buffer, which is basically going to encompass removing that existing tank, installing the new pipe, installing the new tanks and pump chamber, and some minor site grading just to make sure we get enough cover over the tanks. And the brown lines that you see on the plan, that's the proposed erosion control barrier that we're going to put on the east side of the driveway, between the driveway and the wetland. And then on the upper portion of the property, connecting to that barn up to and along the existing tree line towards the south end of the property where the new septic field is going to go. So it's really a minor project with the amount of disturbance on the property. It is located within the surface water protection area for the water supply, which is essentially across the street of Middleborough Road. So that's pretty much the extent of this project. Again, it's a failed septic system, and they're looking to repair it so they can sell their house at an upcoming closing date. So with that, if you guys have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them.
Josh, thank you for the presentation. Is there anybody here from the public that has any questions? If you do, just politely unmute yourself and just state your name for the record and ask the questions through the chairman, and the applicant will answer them. Well, doesn't sound like we have much participation from the public tonight on this one. So that being said, Josh, I have a question. And who am I to question engineering, right? But if you're looking and if you're looking at that hay bale line that goes along the easterly side of the driveway, unless there's a reason that we want it on the driveway, wouldn't it make more sense, Josh, and you can tell me I'm wrong, to just bring it up to, say, the top of the retaining wall, or the, you know what I'm saying? I mean, that seems like an
Yeah.
awful lot of.
It is it is kind of a tricky site for this. So
Yeah.
originally we had proposed it on the top of the retaining wall, but then when we thought about it, they're going to need to get trucks in here and the excavation equipment up on top of the wall. So we figured instead of them possibly disturbing it on the back of the wall, we just put it down at the edge, because they're going to be coming in and out on the driveway. So it'd be better to
Okay.
protect it down there on the lower side, if that makes any sense.
That's fine. I just, whoever has to pay that bill, I don't want them cursing us. That was a joke, Josh. You can laugh. It's okay.
Yep, we had
So,
yeah, it's definitely
so,
quite a bit.
yeah, it just seems like a long run, and you know, I get what you're trying to do, and I thought about it too, as truck access. But if that's your methodology, then who am I to question it? Like I said, the only other question I have is I see the note for to clean out the old system, pump it out, collapse it, and backfill it, if you will, with the Title V requirements. You're putting the two new tanks where the approximate location of the existing field is. So is it my understanding that you're going to be removing the material from that existing field and then, again, disposing of it off-site in accordance with the Title V requirements?
So for the existing tank in that area where we make the new connection, we'll definitely pump that out and replace it with new proper fill material. Then in the area of the new tank and pump chamber, we'll pretty much do the exact same method and replace it with the proper fill material.
Okay. If this is a pump-up system, boy, that's tough. But sometimes in these tight locations, you got to do what you got to do. So, anybody from the board have any questions?
No.
Okay. Then I'll entertain a motion to close the public hearing.
No, I'll make that motion. No, sorry, Charlie.
Motion's been made and
I'll second it.
Motion's been made and supported. Roll call vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Charlie Sullivan,
Aye.
Keith Mello,
Aye.
Kevin Damaris, aye. Passes unanimously. So again, looking at this plan, I think they've done everything they can to keep it outside of the wetland buffer as much as possible. The important parts are certainly outside with the leach area and all. So I'm glad to hear that they're going to be removing the old septic systems and taking them off site and replacing it with good material. So If there aren't any other questions, then I'll entertain a motion that we approve the plans as submitted.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
It's hard on
Motion's
Zoom.
made and
I-
supported. Yeah, it's hard on Zoom. I hear you. So, if there's no further discussion on that motion, I'll take a roll call vote. All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Charlie Sullivan.
Aye.
Charlie Sullivan, aye. Keith Mello.
Aye.
Keith Mello, aye. Kevin Damaris, aye. Passes unanimously. All right, Josh, what has to happen? I'll sign off on the plan, and then the other members, and that brings me on to the next item. We have some outstanding things that need to get signed, so if either one of you two can kind of find your way. Keith, if you let me know when you're working next, maybe I can bring them up that way to you if you can't get down here, but we have some stuff that needs to get signed. So just, Josh, once it's signed, we'll send it out.
Okay.
You go ahead with the septic plans and the application, and when they come in, if you don't have the signed plans there, I'll go up to and sign them for the Board of Health.
Okay, yeah, because we called them today because I wasn't sure how it worked. Sometimes
Yep.
sometimes the Concom waits for the Board of Health approval. This way, it seems like it's
Yep.
the other way around.
Yep.
Okay. And then we just
So-
had one other question.
Okay.
We were just wondering because they've got a closing coming up. I'm not sure of the date off the top of my head, but
Yeah.
is the contractor able to get started on putting in the erosion control and the work outside the buffer zone before the 10-day appeal period's up?
Yeah, and the applicant proceedings under the appeal period is a at your own peril kind of thing, right? So, yeah, you're free to do the actual project, but should somebody appeal it, and then, so, no, we would not get in the way of the closing or anything. Once we voted on it, and once you get the approval from the Board of Health, you can continue on.
Okay.
All right?
All right.
All right, Josh, thanks a bunch.
All right. Thank you very much.
We'll see you.
Bye.
Bye now. Okay, next item on our agenda, it's real quick. This is just to let you know what's going on. Nephew's Restaurant, Ronnie Stapleton, I don't know, maybe 6 months ago now, had applied for an RDA, wanted to clean up behind his property. He's done that. He's looking for a letter from us that says that he's done that. I've gone over and looked at it. I've had Mike just draft a letter to him. Because there is no sign off with RDAs, we may want to consider in the future having just our own sign off, because sometimes people do want to know, hey, am I good, so I can go forward. So just to let you know that's going out. We haven't received any new applicants other than those two that you sent us, and one was a repeat.
It was 4 or 5, but one is the person who was just hired to work in the selectmen's office.
Right. I was gonna say, and that person's been hired to work in the selectman's office.
So there's should be 4 or 5.
4 or 5 left, all right. We need to schedule an in-person meeting. It'll be very brief, in that we need to sign the letter that needs to be sent to the MBTA. Mike, I'll let you explain that. No, excuse me, I did that wrong. No. That's for the conservation restriction on the Copart property, that 140 acres. The lawyers are done making their money on it now, and I think all parties in an agreement. So we need to get together so we can sign the document and get that moving forward.
It has to be notarized.
It has to be the letter has to be notarized, which is why we need to be in person. If we don't want to meet in person, that's fine. I will just have to have Chris go around to you folks individually and get your notarized signature. So, that's that.
Right.
I'm gonna look at the applicants again. Since we have only 4 applicants, I think we'll just, maybe interview the top 3. Well, we can schedule interviews with all 4 if you'd like.
You have 5.
Oh, we have 5 left. I thought that one went to the selectman's office.
There were 6.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, all right. So we have 5 left. if you could, just look at them again. I know I've got my 3 that I'm forwarded, but, if you guys want to just look at it, and again, we can schedule to do that in person also if you'd like, or we can do that via Zoom. Either way, whatever way makes you feel comfortable.
All right, Kevin?
Yeah,
All right. 2 things. Do we, on the Copart document, we just need to have our signatures notarized by a notary, correct?
that's correct, Charlie.
And am I drawing a wrong inference in that would probably be Tim who would be notarizing it for us?
Tim would be available. Also, Chris from the planning board. He is a notary public also.
All right. Didn't realize that. Don't mean to slight you, Chris. Sorry. So if I was to stop in at the office, the planning board office, I can just sign it.
Yeah,
there.
yeah, Charlie. That would eliminate the need to have that in-person meeting. Absolutely.
Okay. And as to the applicants for the clerk's job, not to be, I'm not going to be there I'm not going to have a lot of questions for this clerk. My
Right.
view is that, all right, you hire the most competent person that you feel. I'm good with, I don't need to be in on an interview with somebody I for clerk. I appreciate it, but it's not something that I'm gonna probably ask a question at, really. All right.
Well, I appreciate you letting me know that. Thank you.
Very glad to leave it to your judgment, Kevin.
I second that.
Well, I appreciate the votes of confidence. Thank you. So I will move forward on that as best I can, and I will keep you guys in the loop. Mike, anything else?
On the Copart,
Mm-hmm.
the last meeting, you gave it only a consensus approval.
Mhm.
So it's gonna have to be on another agenda to approve before they can sign it anyway.
Okay.
So,
All right. So Mike reminded me that our last vote on the Copart item was a consensus vote. It wasn't an actual vote. Now that we have the final wording, so we'll send it out. It'll be on our agenda for approval at our next meeting.
unless you wanna meet sooner to do just that.
Yeah, we can meet sooner to do that. Look, I'll schedule another Zoom meeting for next week sometime, just to quickly vote on that, and then we can get the signatures required. So just keep a lookout for your email to see when the next one will be. It'll be midweek next week sometime.
All right, that sounds fine.
Excellent. All right, is there anything else, Mike?
The MBTA thing,
Would you like to speak to that? Because I know you've been working on it.
I guess.
No, Mike's going to talk on the MBTA thing because he's been working on it. Stop it, man.
How about now?
Yes.
Oh, all right, delightful. Okay, so you've heard about the Copart part, and now as far as the MBTA, as you know, they purchased the house at 15 Richmond Road last year, I think, sometime. They've demolished the house. At the time that they purchased it, they asked if we would be interested in taking the property, possibly using it as parking because it would tie in with the walking path they're looking at doing. And you guys were agreeable to that. It's sort of an unusual, normally when somebody's looking to donate land to us, they come to us. The state has come to us and said, we'd like to donate this to you, but we need you to ask for it first. So that's all that agenda item is that you guys agree in, it doesn't have to be a vote, you can just agree on consensus that you want to ask the state to ask us if we want to have this.
God bless the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. That's all I can say.
All right.
Did you hear me? All right. So by consensus, right, everybody, we're in agreement. We're going to send a letter saying, yes, we do, in fact, want that piece donated to us that we've been working on for the last 2 years.
All right. I'll go with that.
All right. Thank you. Keith, you go with that, right?
Of course.
Perfect. Thank you. If there's nothing else, Mike?
Unless, I don't think so. The minutes went out very late, so they may not have had a chance to look at them.
All right. So keep a lookout, guys, for a meeting. Like I said, I'll try to schedule it within, maybe next Tuesday, Wednesday timeframe? No, not Tuesday, Wednesday. Hold on, Mike's shaking his head.
Oh, no, that's this week that those days are bad.
Yeah. That's why I said, because I've already got stuff this week, so I don't want to overcommit. So, all right, everybody's favorite motion. Oh, and again, just a polite reminder, there's some other things down here that need to get signed, everything that we've signed from the last two meetings or voted on. Go ahead, Mike.
I'll remind you guys too, if you may or may not have been at the town meeting on October 3rd, the only article from that meeting that had to be continued was your article to have land transferred to you, and that continuation is this Wednesday at 4:15. So if you're around, you'd want to come because we need 10 people for a quorum.
Okay,
All
so
right.
there you have it. If there's nothing else, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
Okay, just one question. Where are these documents? What office are these documents in that we need to
The
sign?
assessor's office, so, the assessor's office, they're
Right,
they're
there was
right
my,
in there, and if I know, yep, and if I know you're coming down and Mike's not gonna be around, I'll make sure I grab him and have him someplace.
all
But
right, I'll give
they're
you
in
a
the assessor's office.
call before I come down, okay, Mike?
Sure, absolutely.
I'm working tomorrow, so hopefully I can swing by too.
If not, we can get them up to you.
Sounds good.
Thanks.
Okay.
I just need a motion to adjourn.
Okay, I'll make it.
All right. All right, and I'll second it, Keith.
Oh,
There you go. Motion
great.
made, supported. Yeah, all right, roll call vote. Charlie Sullivan.
Aye.
Charlie Sullivan, aye. Keith Mello.
Aye.
Keith Mello. All right, Keith Mello, aye. Kevin Damaris, aye.
Aye.
All right, guys, thank you very much, everybody. Be safe out there, and we'll talk to you soon.
All
Okay.
right. Take care, guys.
Bye.
Aye.